Okay, moment everyone's been waiting for, scar reveal time. My scars have changed a lot since I first had surgery. So this is kind of what we were working with here. I have this bruise here, which I have had on and off since surgery. My surgeon did not reach out to me after surgery, and also the person who took my drains out was not the same doctor as my surgeon. So I haven't talked to him since I had my surgery. I could have reached out about this, but it kind of comes and goes. It's very like dependent on how much strain I'm doing. And recently it was suggested to me that because there's a lot of lymphatic tissue that gets removed, that this could also be the product of like, you know, stuff just not getting cleared because that lymphatic tissue isn't there to do it, which makes sense to me. My left one is very nice and neat. It's actually quite faded in this section over here. Hopefully the lighting isn't too bad. There's this one kind of bump I have in the middle, and then I do have a little drain scar. The points where these end are like slightly uneven. This one's just a little bit higher, but honestly, you can't really tell. And then this one is thick. I'm right-handed, so that's why, basically. It's stretched out a lot for me reaching for things. It's relatively shiny, as you can see, and it's also like, it's still pretty pink. They're not like super lightened yet. This one's getting there. And I think that'll just be like with time. There's also, it kind of like blips in a little bit and then pops back out. I do also have, it's more faded on this side. There's my drain scar. I also have this weird little guy that I've had ever since surgery, and I asked them what it was, and they're like, I don't know, maybe it's a staple. They never answered anything besides that, but it's just been there. It's honestly pretty faded at this point. This is like a little, it's kind of hard to see, but it's like a little puckery in here. And it always looks not as big when I'm looking down at it, but of course when I see it in the mirror I can see it's pretty chunky. So yeah, this stretched out a lot. I also, on and off, I have a lot of issues. I sleep on my side mostly. I also tend to sleep on my right side, like slightly curled. So I tend to get pain, honestly, just like in my skin on my side, even though I moisturize a ton. I did use silicone gel. I actually have it in the cabinet. It's the creakiest cabinet ever. It's just like the Scar Away gel. And I just would like put that on, but I have ADHD. I was horrible about doing it. So I did it for a while, but I was pretty bad at keeping on top of it. But all in all, I mean, like it's not like puckering out much. It's honestly flattened out a lot. The silicone, the reason it helps is that it actually pulls the water out. So that's, at least that's what my surgeon told me. But that's why it helps with like the puckering and the kind of like lumpiness, is that I guess it like helps keep the water out, which is actually like creates that as water gets stuck in the scar tissue, I guess. So I've been having a lot of pain, especially lately. I don't know what it was. Once the weather flipped, I ended up having like a lot of pain on this side, and I actually recently picked up this scar care salve from Community Care Apothecary. It has Solomon seal, arnica, and calendula, and then like a bunch of moisturizing goodness. I've been putting that on like every night before I go to bed, and it's been helping a lot. Solomon seal is also something I take in my tincture to help with connective tissue. It's becoming my best friend as a plant. So yeah, this has been really good. I just kind of like massage it in. I still also, just from like a pressure standpoint, especially the bulkier sections of the scars are still pretty sensitive to pressure. Not like a lot, but I mean like when I'm like holding baby nibblings and they like bonk their head into my chest, like it hurts. And so yeah, that's what's going on. I feel really self-conscious about this right scar a lot of times. I think just because, like, I feel like the reason it looks the way that it does is, like, my fault. Or, you know, like, it's my fault for not doing better scar care, my fault for, like, I don't know, not having, like, a brain that works properly, or, like, I just feel at fault for the way that it looks, or, like, you know, it's my fault for not resting enough, and I feel just kind of embarrassed of, like, oh, that's kind of ugly, and, like, it didn't have to be, and it's my fault because of that. And we could, like, unpack that a lot, but basically I kind of go back and forth between, like, feeling kind of, like, embarrassed about it, and then feeling, honestly, like, feeling, like, really proud of it, if that makes sense. Like, feeling like it's a piece of me, in that, like, it's a result of, you know, having a life that is sometimes overcommitted, sometimes, like, that is, like, too busy and bad at resting. It's, like, representative of the fact that, like, sometimes I'm bad at asking for help, and so, like, I didn't ask for help and I stretched out my scar, and so, like, it is, like, it's a reflection of me, and so I should love it more than I do sometimes. And, like, especially, I think what it is, I'll, like, look at the other one and be like, you could have looked like this if I had just done it right. If I had just, like, you know, I should have known better, is, like, a sentence that haunts my brain. But I also think that, like, whenever I see art of, like, trans bodies and they have the big, like, zigzaggy, like, ripply scars, I, like, love the way that that looks, and so I feel like it's not fair to love it in art or on other people and to not love it on my own body. But yeah, I know not everyone likes the scar strips. I do think that this is, like, pretty solid. It can be a little sticky. They recommend putting a really thin layer on, but that felt like it wasn't enough. It also can be kind of hard to get out of it because it's like a little roller ball. But something I also, like, kind of separately from the procedure itself that was, like, a surprise to me, I don't know if it's positive or negative, is, like, I expected to want to wear really feminine clothes, to wear, like, all of the, like, bralettes and stuff that I've never been able to wear, and I expected to want, like, I always kind of, contrary to, I feel like, what the stereotype is before, like, top surgery, I feel like people with chest dysphoria, like, a lot of people think that they wear, like, a lot of loose clothes, and for me, I wore a lot of really tight clothes, I think because I was constantly trying to, like, create waist definition for myself. Loose clothes always felt like a tent, that I, like, hated the way that looked. And so it's interesting, like, now I love loose clothes and I want to wear them all the time, and, like forget bralettes, I never want anything bra-like on ever. It feels so natural to just, like, have a bare chest and have nothing else constricting. Even certain tank tops feel kind of weird sometimes. Partly because I just still have some sensitivity, but also, yeah, it's like too bra-like. I don't want to wear that. Which, yeah, I guess I've just found interesting. Like, I've gravitated much more towards, like, button-downs and just, like, looser, flowier type things, which was really surprising to me. And, like, styles that I never thought I would want to wear, that were always really dysphoric for me, are now, like, I don't want to say euphoric, but they're really comfortable and they feel really easy to wear, which has been definitely interesting, because I feel like someone who's, like, you know, knitting their own clothes, I still have this tendency to go for negative ease, and I actually have to kind of, like, force myself to start making other kinds of knits. And I also feel like sewing's a lot more approachable because I'm not, like, working with those curves, and, like, yeah, I don't know, it's just been, like, an interesting little kind of, like, creative piece that has come through. And yeah, I guess I'm just trying to think if there's, like, anything else in terms of like advice or like things that I want to share. Something I left out, like just for like, I don't know, transparency, or if people are considering going to Dr. Huntsman, I think I would like cautiously recommend him, just because like I do think that like choosing the like incision method day of feels like super intense and intimidating. I think he did a really great job. Like I think that like I'm very happy with, you know, like the work. I also wanted to say there was like, they basically did like they're like, this is like the surgery like package price, where like I wasn't gonna have to pay for anything else outside of that. And that was $5,000, which was a lot less than I thought it was gonna be. And I just wanted to like kind of share that for transparency. Like my top surgery cost exactly $5,000 to like the surgeon and hospitals and providers and all those people. And yeah, I think that that's about it. Again, though, if anyone has any questions, or just wants to be joyful with me about like top surgery, yeah, I also hope that people recognize like not every person is looking to talk about this stuff. And you need to respect that. Like not everyone wants to really talk super openly about their top surgery. Some people do. So I guess this is just to say, like, I'm very open to questions and talking about this. Don't extend that to other people unless they like explicitly say that they're open to talking about it. Just a thing. I'd also just like encourage you to, like, I receive so much support through GoFundMe. Like, go and support people's GoFundMes, because it fucking sucks to not have insurance cover your stuff. Like, it's just so gutting and dehumanizing, and like especially donate to Black trans folks. Like they simply do not get the funding that like white trans folks GoFundMes get. And yeah, go and donate to them, please, because I was really blown away by like the generosity that I saw from other people, and I want other people to have that generosity too. But I think that's it. I hope everyone is having a lovely Pride. I know it's kind of a hellscape out there, but I hope that you're taking care and just like, you know, holding on to all of the like beauty and joy of queer love and friendship. And